Thank you, Brother Dwight. I keep wondering on these occasions why they always get me to speak after Obie Wishcombe. Because, you know, I could never beat him speaking. But, Dawn, you gave me the opportunity to hear that Andrew Burroughs says that I'm his hero. Boy, I'm moving up in the world. Because I think he's a great writer, you know. I really, he does his stuff on Facebook, and anytime he has some comment to make, it's always so engaging and incisive. And I'm happy that you have a younger generation of writers who are interested in keeping the record and writing. Well, Ian's looking at me. He's trying to get out of the business, by the way, but we're not going to let him. But to the family, this is a proud honor for us all, former Prime Minister, my colleague, Mr. Watson, the Member of Parliament, all my friends gathered here. This is a very intimate and family matter, I would say, particularly after the last speaker spoke. I mean, there wasn't a dry eye in the room. Because we're happy that this man lived such a wonderful life. Although we're very sad that it had to come to an end. And I remember my grandaunt, Maud Johnson. I was a little boy, and I was asking her, there used to be these cartoons in the Tribune, and every time someone died, there would be a picture of the person feeling very sad. And I asked her, I said, why do they always do that when someone dies? And she says, well, you know, didn't you cry when your mother went away to Miami and left you in Nassau? That's how it feels, like someone's gone on a journey and they've left you. And there's a hole in your life and in your heart. And no matter what they tell you, it never heals and you never forget. And what I really want to do, because you've heard me say all of the things publicly and privately to you about, and all of the people here who've spoken about his public life, the way he so adeptly managed that diaspora in New York. And people think being Consul General is easy, but you know, the Bahamians who live abroad, they ain't easy. And that takes a lot of management. And he was very skillful at it. So when he left New York, as Prime Minister Christie said, he was an extremely popular man. And people asked, when is he coming back? There was a change in government and they expected him to come back, but as it happened, the Prime Minister said, no, you have to go to the UK. And he goes to the UK and puts the Bahamas on the map, without a doubt. And again, your success in the UK is largely, even though you are engaged in all the grand acts of state, the one I remember, of course, is that picture of him riding in Sweden in an open carriage. And he sent me a note. He was so excited about the fact that this was taking place. It must have been a wonderful moment to go to see the king in Sweden. But you were judged by how successfully you got along with the students. And Dawn and Ed's house, the house which is right next door to the High Commission, was always had an open door to students. And he had a listening ear. And they felt that they always had access to the High Commission and the High Commissioner. So when he left London, there was that legacy as well. Not only for the professional work with regard to the Commonwealth and all the European countries to which he was ambassador, but because of his relationship with the young Bahamians who were coming up and would return to our country. So they remember him as we do, fondly. I want to apologize for the absence of the Right Honorable the Honorable Prime Minister, because today he's in Cat Island doing the groundbreaking for the new international airport that's going down there. And There's going to be a public service, I gather, at Christ Church next week. So I expect if he's here, he will attend that because he was very close to Ed as well. I'm sad that he didn't finish the memoir, but I got you to promise me you were going to finish it because I look forward to reading it. Preston Moss, Monsignor Preston Moss, who's a very close friend of mine and my god brother. He was an Anglican before he became a Roman Catholic priest. He used to always say at the end of his homilies, take time to grieve. And I think I said this before. We're not machines. We're human beings. And in this culture, there's this feeling that, someone dies, okay, you go through the rituals and then that's it. You're back to where you were. But you're not. And in saying that, I want to pay a particular tribute to you, Dawn, because I often say to many of my friends who have the good fortune to find a partner in their lives, and I say it the way I say it to them, that you are very fortunate in this life where human beings are all different from one another to find someone who wants to be around you. You're really fortunate. And I used to always tease the former speaker, Oswald Ingram, because you couldn't be with Mr. Ingram for 10 minutes before he was calling his wife and asking, what do you think about this? Or what are you doing? I mean, they were like inseparable. And I say the same thing for you and Ed. I mean, you're always together, day, night, wherever you looked around. If you weren't there within 10 or 15 minutes, he was wondering what you were doing, where you were. And that's a great thing, that you could get someone that you can rely on implicitly to support you, to do, it's just a great thing. And I envy that relationship because that's a good and joyful thing. And so you made his life complete. And even though he had the titles, you were there right beside him. And when we were in the house yesterday, who was it that said that you couldn't be successful unless you had, right? They said on the side of you, right? Of course, this person was a public figure in the 50s, and I said, well, in those days, it was behind you, not beside you. But so Wiscombe says to me, I would dare you to get up and say that now. Of course, I wasn't that brave. But you were his partner in every sense of the word and made him a total and complete success. And you said something to me when I spoke to you on the telephone. You said to me, it was a difficult diagnosis. The end was coming. We knew it. But you said, the chemotherapy gave us 2 years, and we're grateful for those 2 years. And I think that that's how, at the end of all of it, that's how you're supposed to look at life. It is what it is. And not to complain, but to be happy and joyful about all the great times you had, all the experiences. Sad with his passing, but a wonderful life. fourscore and 2, not 10, fourscore and 2. A great and wonderful life. A great Bahamian, a great patriot. He helped to shape what our nation is, because on all of those occasions, some important event took place, someone passed away in the sporting world. Who was the person that you heard who pronounced the first look, the first view of what happened? That was Ed Bethel. And so he shaped the Bahamas. It's burned in our memories. A good man has gone on. Bless him. He goes to God with our support. And because we're in this room, I can say as I am.
Thank you all. Thank you.